Hey guys, it's Brick Thunder, and today I'm going to be unboxing, setting up, and doing a demo of Menards' new for 2022 Smoldering Ghoul. Okay, so I am so excited to get into this one. I've wanted it ever since we saw those first pictures and videos, and my store got him a little while ago, as you can see in my Menards tour, but they had no stock of him. So I visited a different Menards today, and they had one left, and I got it, and I'm so excited to unbox this one. This is the only Menards prop I have, I believe, and it is amazing. So let's get straight into the unboxing. Alright, let's unbox this thing. I am so excited to get into this one. He is so much bigger than I expected in person, even though he is 7.5 feet larger than most average props. His proportions are awesome. So here is the legs right here, it looks like. It looked like an arm for a second, but there are leg pulls in there. Here is the awesome head. Now it is plastic, so it's not a full head like most plastic large heads like this, but it does have a framing, which is nice, so it does look realistic. And this whole thing is smoldering, and that is awesome. It's huge, as you can see. Looks really, really cool. So let's set that down. We have some foam right here with more leg pulls, big leg pulls because he is giant. We have a rib cage piece. This is huge. Look at that. This actually might be very similar to Jack Stalker's, just a bit more smoldering texture, but it lights up the same way, just with those smoldering lights. He's got cool lights. They flicker nice. Looks like actual fire. So we have clothing here. I like his clothing a lot. It's got the lava rock type look on it. Good printing. We have the arms right here, which are actually kind of snagged with this piece, which looks to be a back piece, kind of a hunchback there. We have one arm here, and as you can see, a wire goes through that, and that goes to the hands. I love that feature so much. I think that's really cool. Here is the other one, and then like I said, both hands are in here, and both hands light up. So let's take these out here. They're kind of stuck on the box here. I want to be careful with them. Don't want to break anything. But here's one of them, wire coming out the back of the hand, and this lights up. Huge hands, really detailed. Love the smoldering texture. Really reminds me of Spirit's Smoldering Zombie, and I'm actually going to have them both in a section together because I've never really had a place for Smoldering Zombie that fits, and now I do. So I'm happy to own this one. Here are the feet right here. These don't have lights in it, although it's pretty easy to add them. And I think it would look the same as the rest of the body. So I might do that. I'm not sure yet, but they look cool. And then our final piece is snagged with the base, but it's the full mechanism. Let's see if I can take this base piece out. Okay, got the box tilted over and have the base out now. This is heavy and huge. Let's lay that down, and then here's his mechanism. This is crazy. It's all one motor, and it does both the head and the body motion, and these are huge. This is probably the largest pull between a motor and a headpiece that I've ever seen. His movement is crazy, and you can tell right here. It has a spring so that all the tension's not on the motor. But yeah, that looks good. So let's get to his setup. Okay, so let's start down here at the base. We have the leg pulls right here. Both are labeled B, so it doesn't matter which side they go in. These are thick leg pulls, nice metal. Really excited about that. Like I said, I don't think I own a Menards prop, so so far I'm pretty happy with the quality. This guy definitely seems to be made from SVI. I'm not sure if that's true, but the quality definitely seems to be SVI. So now we have D and E. We had C, which are these two feet pieces, and then the first pulls were B, and the base was A. So now we're on D and E, which are these two. So because they're labeled differently, they do matter which side they go on. D goes on the front, like over here, and then E goes on the back. Sometimes that doesn't matter, but we're just going to make sure we follow what the instructions say, because sometimes it does. All right, so that's snapped in. This one is going to go like this. Oh, actually, no, we had it right there. So let's snap this in right here. There we go. Those seem pretty sturdy, so we can slide our foam on. We have two different sets of foam for the legs. We have F right here, and the other one might be labeled F as well. I have not checked. Let's see. This other one doesn't have a label on it, so likely they are both labeled F. Yep, it looks like they should be both F. So it doesn't matter which leg these go on, and that's usually how it is with foam, because it just covers up those legs to make them seem more realistic. Okay, so I have this moved up just a bit more, because now we're going to get this clothing on. So here is the main clothing piece. This is all of it right here, and you can see the legs down there. Now, it should face one way, and that is the way with the rib cage, like that. That's the opening for the rib cage, so we want to make sure that is facing forward. And then there's a lot of creepy cloth hanging down that's kind of tangled with each other, but it looks like this leg is going to go on over here, and the other leg is going to go on the other side. So let's slide this down. Okay, so we can keep sliding the clothing down like this, and make sure this isn't too tangled up here. Bring this around the front. Okay, so I have this slid down now, and it weirdly smells like an inflatable, but the cloth seems to be pretty good quality, so I'm not sure why, but there we go. Let's move the camera up and attach our mechanism piece. All right, so here we have the piece, and we're gonna slide this down. This has the control box and full mechanism on it. And it just attaches down here to the leg poles. The hip loop is already attached, which is nice, so we don't have to remember that step because it is already there. And now we're just going to slowly slide down each side till it clicks on both snap blocks. All right, there we go. Both sides are clicked now. And here's the sensor wire, which actually goes just right here. So I'm just going to attach that right now. And this piece is going to come up to the rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage. Now it looks like he's in the back position right now, or else he's just really leaned back. But I'm actually worried he might not fit in this room because of how big he is. So we'll see about that. We may have to move. But for now, we're just going to continue. We're going to put on our back piece right here. This is what I thought. It goes on up here. And there is a big side and another big side. So it doesn't, it is pretty obvious what way it goes, but it doesn't matter which way you put it in. But it should look like this, so it makes a hunchback and covers up the mechanism piece. Don't want anything getting stuck in that. Now we have our giant rib cage piece that can go on right here, and this just slides in with prongs onto the chest section, like that. All right, there we go. It's very leaned back. I'm not sure if it's gonna be back heavy, but so far he looks amazing. It looks really cool. This piece can kind of slide around like that. That looks like it's centered right there, so that's what I'm gonna do. But now let's bring the clothing up. I'm gonna do that off camera since that's gonna take a second. But once that's up, we'll continue with our setup. All right, so I have all the clothing pulled up now. He is looking awesome. This thing is so much bigger than it looked. Most Menards that I've seen, including mine, have him displayed really far and up high, so you really can't get a good perception of his height, but he is crazy big, and his proportions are awesome too. So super happy with him so far. Let's slide this up, and then we're gonna go through the back where there's a lot of Velcro, and we're just gonna connect it up with the prong up at top. All right, there we go. It's connected, and now we're gonna add this hand on right here. And this hand is just gonna go in with the same prongs, and then there's a wire to connect right here, but I'll wire it all up later. And we're just gonna bring this up, not covering that section yet, just because we do have to wire that up. But that's crazy. His hands are super high up, as you can see, and they do kind of move with it as well. I didn't actually check if there's actually a pole that makes them actually move, or it just moves with the body, but it looks pretty impressive right now. So let's slide this other arm up and just do the same thing, connecting it at the top. All right, we got this one attached too. Gonna definitely have a lot of creepy cloth here to adjust, as you can see. But we have this other hand to go on right here. So we're just gonna slide this in with the prongs right there. We'll bring this up, just not cover anything just yet because we do have to access that. And our final step here on this giant guy is the head. So I'm gonna move the camera up one more time so we can look up there, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna see if this guy actually fits. It looks like he should, but it's gonna be really close. Yes, okay, luckily he is looking down a bit, so he should fit fine. Although, hold on, we have a little pin to take out right here. We're gonna actually put that back in because his movement is pretty violent. So let's just slide this down in the prongs, and then we're gonna reattach that pin. But wow, okay, so he looks down when he's back, and he looks up when he's forward. So, right now he is looking down, but he'll look up when he's forward, but by then he should be fine with ceiling height. Okay, so I have the pin in, so we can just slide this over the head. There's a wire to connect in the head because this does have the smoldering texture, but we are just gonna pull this hood all the way over. Make sure this doesn't get caught down here. I think that's what's kind of limiting us here. But we're gonna slide this until we see the Velcro that attaches over the top. And then there's also Velcros on the sides, as you can see. He's kind of getting stuck there that we need to Velcro to as well. Okay, so the hood is now on. It's Velcroed down, and this looks amazing. He is absolutely massive. Now I have to pose the creepy cloth, get them all wired up, but it is time for the demo. So here we go. All right, so he is fully wired up and ready. Let's plug him in. All right, so there he was, the Smoldering Ghoul from Menards. I am so happy with this thing. I think he is amazing. This is by far my favorite Menards prop, probably of all time, and he is just amazing. He's huge. He's a very detailed prop. He has great audio too. I love the laughing. I think having just laughing and growling is much better than having phrasing, especially since there's no mouth movement. So I'm happy that they went with that. But yeah, his lighting is great. His movement is really unique and cool, and pretty violent and fast as well, which I'm happy about. But overall, 100% recommend this guy. He is pricey, as are most of Menards items this year, but that's usually what they are, and it makes sense. I think the exclusivity of this prop is going to be pretty good. You're not going to see this at every house, so if you have the budget for it, I would totally recommend it, and I think he is great. Really, really cool. But yeah, there he was, the Smoldering Ghoul from Menards. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.